and welcome back to the vlog. You join me on an annoyingly cold Tuesday morning. Don't let the blue sky and t-shirt fool you. It's 5 degrees today, and it's a bit annoying because 2 days ago it was 16 degrees, and the day I go to pick up the bike it's really unpleasantly cold. But it's a day I've been so excited for because the bike I'm about to pick up is really the bike that got me interested in the modern classic, straight out of the box custom bike scene. I remember it was 7 years ago and BMW released the best promo video for a bike that I've seen for the RnineT, and they got a group of bike journalists out to, I think it was the desert in Spain, a group of bike customizers out to see the unveiling of this bike. And the bike was pushed out from a shed in the middle of the desert, and then their jaws dropped and they were just amazed at how cool a straight out of the box custom could be. And there was the RnineT, and I must have watched the video just about 30 times in amazement at how cool this bike was. And it really was the RnineT over the Bonneville that originally got me into this modern classic scene. So I'm off to BMW's UK headquarters today to pick up a 3-week-old RnineT. And it comes a week after I gave back the Bonneville T120, so I've got a direct comparison between these two pretty fierce competitors. I just can't wait for it. Cheers. Bye-bye. And this is my bike for the next week. Just check, yep. Tell you what, actually, looking at it, it's not as big as I thought it would be, and the seat height's actually lower than I thought it would be. But I'm gonna get kitted out, go into the countryside, get about 30 miles under my belt, and then I'll do an initial 30-mile review. It's time starting it up. So I've been riding for about half an hour, and we just pulled over for a bite to eat. But I was so wrong, thinking that the T120 and the RnineT were direct competitors. The RnineT is so much more of a focused weapon than the T120 is. It's just hugely surprised me. So I'll have my lunch, do about another hour and a half's riding, and then give a solid first impression, because there's so much more than I thought there'd be to talk about this RnineT. So we're right down today at the bottom of Box Hill, which is pretty much the exact same location as we were at last weekend with my Bonneville 865. So this is Ryka's coffee shop. So you grab a coffee, get some food, and it's got loads of different kind of Barry Sheen pictures and things like that. And to my left is where all of the bikers park, and even today on a Tuesday there are about 20 bikers, but if you come on a Sunday there could be 150 bikers. You all meet up here in the morning, grab a coffee, get a bite to eat, and then you go off on a ride into Box Hill or the Surrey Hills around. It's a great little spot. Actually, just as I'm sitting here, there are about 3 bikes that have come, and it's just a constant stream. But when I parked up the RnineT, a BMW RnineT owner came over to me and started chatting, and he said that he's tested out all of the Triumph range and that not one of them is a patch on the RnineT. I'm not saying I agree with him, but it's just interesting, you know, different people and their different perceptions, because I'm usually in the Triumph circles where they only ride Triumphs, and to speak to a few people in the BMW circles and see their opinions on it is very interesting. Okay, here we go. Full walk around front to back. Let's start off with the Brembo brakes. So it's got twin discs on the front wheel with these massive, chunky gold forks. And I love this. This is kind of, it's got the impression, the headlight, of a self-levitating headlight. There are no brackets holding on either side. Just this cleverly positioned bracket on the bottom, which gives a really clean look. You've then got the air ducts there that suck in the air, and this transforms the handling. I cannot believe it. Steering dampener, and it makes the steering just so beautifully, I don't know the word for it, so beautifully balanced and smooth, and you just can't wait for the next bend with it, the way it makes it feel. It's brilliant. And the classic boxer style engine there. I think for these, and I was talking to a few people down at Ryka's cafe, I think I'd put some kind of engine guard on, because it looks brilliant, but you'd want to protect it in case you drop it, but it looks so good. I love that. Rear wheel. Now this rear wheel tells you everything you need to know about the difference between the T120 Bonneville and the RnineT. The RnineT is so much more focused, and that really does demonstrate it. Rear seat, not great for 2 people, I'll be honest, but it looks good. It's quite sporty, and it's nice and slimline as well. It's got a good profile, and that is, for the aesthetics at least, that's the RnineT in a nutshell. Beautiful looking bike. And coming around here, I'll show you what I see when I turn it on. So, ignition or key turned. Okay, so these are the dials here, and for me, the Bonneville T120 has slightly more special dials with its brushed aluminium inserts. These slightly simpler, and I do like the simplicity, but for me they could have made it a little bit more special. But you've got the speedo there, engine temp and thing, and rev counter here. And on the left handlebar you've got the up menu, so if you press up you can see fuel, setup, miles that you've done, things like that. And then if you push the down button, you can see on this side you've got different things like voltage, MPG and things like that. You've also got here cruise control, and on this side you've got, if you press this button, you've got your riding modes. So that's road, dynamic and rain. And in a nutshell, that is the RnineT. I can't believe I almost forgot. It's got adjustable suspension. So you see here on the top of each fork, that's adjustable. And then around the back here, very nice looking white suspension, white rear shock with just here, the adjuster. So that is adjustable suspension. It's just a really focused machine, this. My first thoughts on the RnineT. I'll share a little insight from a chat I had down at Ryka's Cafe with the RnineT owner. I said, I thought the T120 was going to be like the RnineT. And he said, RnineT like the T120? T120 is an old man's bike. The RnineT is nothing like it. That's kind of the perception that the RnineT owners, or at least that RnineT owner, has with this bike compared to the T120. And I just found it really interesting speaking to, you know, not just Triumph owners, but all owners about their different perceptions of the bikes. And my perception of the RnineT compared to the T120, so different. In my mind, what I had before I'd ever ridden this bike this morning, so completely wrong. I'll give you an idea about how I separate these bikes. You've got a super naked bike, for example, a Triumph Speed Triple. Super naked bike here, Triumph T120 here, and the BMW RnineT right here in the middle. It's way more focused than the T120 and just a little bit dialed back from a super naked. But this bike is, it's a completely different animal. It's almost like you shouldn't think of it as a modern classic. You should think of it as a super naked with traditional looks almost, because the suspension, it's just some of the best suspension. In fact, it's the best suspension I've ever experienced on a motorbike. It's so soft and forgiving, but still, it's just perfect. For example, indentations in the road or undulations in the road, you feel nothing at all. And I tried to go over some really decently bad quality roads just to see if I could unstabilize the bike, but nothing. It's sublime suspension. With the steering dampener, the steering is just the nicest steering I've ever felt. The engine, the way it powers on, there's no jerkiness at all. It's so smooth. It's just a beautiful power curve as you get on the power. It's effortless power. It's 109 horsepower, way more than what you'd need, but it's got a real grunt and a real push in the back, the likes of which I haven't felt since my old Triumph Speed Triple with 130 horsepower. I haven't felt that savage turn of power since then. And if you're in the market for a new bike and you're wondering, what should I get? Should I go for the T120 or the RnineT? If you want relaxing rides, often doing a little bit of two-up riding, you want to enjoy the scenery, sit up like this and just relaxing all day riding, go for the T120. But if you want a way more focused weapon, this is the bike for you over the two. They're very, very different. In fact, you really have to ride both of these bikes to compare them. But this is a really focused bike, and it's incredibly fun. I don't know if you can tell because my face is so white from the cold, but it's still only about 4 or 5 degrees, so this is winter gear. Garibaldi Heritage jacket. I've worn this about 2 videos ago, and it's completely 100% windproof, totally waterproof, and all I'm wearing with 5 degrees is a sweatshirt, this jacket, and I need nothing else. It's a brilliant jacket. Next, XG100 helmet that I've shown before. It's really good because that's the only vent, so you don't get loads of cold air for cold riding. Rocker slim tapered jeans, and these, I think this is the first time I've worn these on a vlog. These are the Steel Martin New Rocks, but just bear in mind if you buy them, they do discolor a little bit there, but still brilliant quality boots. And the gloves, racer gloves. These are classed as winter city gloves, so not quite as big as non-city gloves, but they're a slimmer profile, so you lose a bit of the cold weather protection, but you gain because you don't have to wear those massive things that go up to there. So I wear these a lot, plus heater grips on the BMW, so I'm okay. I'm so glad I made it back because it's 3 degrees now and it's properly cold outside. But what a bike the RnineT is. It's seriously quick actually, that bike. I'm curious, let me know in the comments, how do you see it? Do you see it as a modern classic or a slightly dialed back super naked? And what are your thoughts about it? Do you have one or is it a bike that you want? Let me know what your thoughts are on the RnineT. I've got it for another week, so I'll make sure I get some proper mileage in. Hopefully the weather warms up, but for now it's parked up next to my Bonneville. And I need to go upstairs and have a coffee and try and warm up. But subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, please, if you can, and follow me on Instagram, dob.bs, and I'll see you in the next one.